TK. Today we're going to do a science experiment. Do you know what scientists do? They look and listen and study things to try to find out more about them. And that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to do an experiment. We're going to look and watch what happens, and we're going to write it down, just like a real scientist, to see what happens. So today I have some water, and we're going to talk about things that sink and things that float. Do you know what it means to sink? If I had a boat and it sinks in the water, what does it do? It goes to the bottom. That's right. What about if I had a floaty ring and I put it on the water? What happens? It floats. It stays on top of the water. So we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to try a whole bunch of things. In a minute, you'll need your apple sink or float paper, but not yet. Okay? So let's try a few things. I have a bath toy. I have this little dolphin. Let's take a guess. Sometimes scientists take a guess at what they think will happen. Do you think this dolphin will sink to the bottom or float on top? Okay, let's find out. What did the dolphin do? It floats on top. Good job. All right, now I have this nickel. Do you think the nickel will sink to the bottom or float on top? Okay, let's see. What happened to it? It sank to the bottom. All right, let's try now. I have some Legos. What do you think will happen when I put the Legos in the water? Will they sink to the bottom or float on top? Let's see. What did they do? They're floating on top. Next, I have a spoon. What do you think will happen when we put the spoon in? Sink or float? Okay, let's try. It sank right to the bottom. Why do you think some things sink and some things float? Some things are heavy and it makes them sink to the bottom. And some things have the right shape and enough air in the middle to be able to float on top. But if enough water covers them, then they will go down. All right, now we need your apple paper. So write your name at the top. I'm going to write my name. Start with a capital letter. Take my time. Write it nice and neatly. Did you write your name? Okay. It says, will the apple sink or float? So Mrs. Malik has an apple. We're going to try to figure out if we think this apple is going to sink to the bottom or float on top. Put it right there for a second. First, we're going to do a prediction. Can you say prediction? That just means our guess of what we think will happen. Do you think it's going to sink or float? So you circle what you think is going to happen. If you think it's going to sink, circle this one. If you think it's going to float, circle that one. There's no wrong prediction. It's just what you think might happen. All right, next we're going to do the experiment, and then we're going to write down what happened. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Excuse me, dolphin. Let's see what happens when we put the apple in. Sink or float? Do you see what's happening? I'm going to move the spoon. Look at, I can put my hand under there. I'm going to hold it up so you can see a little bit better. The apple is floating. It's not touching the bottom. Wow. Now what happens if I try a different kind of apple? I have a yellow apple. Do you think this apple will sink or float? Let's find out. What did it do? It's floating. All right, we're going to try one more time. Apples come in 3 different colors like we've talked about. Red, yellow, and green. What's going to happen when we put this green one in the water? Will it sink or float? Let's see. Excuse me, apples. It floats. The apples float. Good job. So now we have to finish our experiment. Scientists write down what happened when they tried it. If it's okay if your guess is wrong, that's totally fine. All that matters is that you write down what happened. So I'm going to draw the water. I don't know if you can see it. All right, I'm just going to try to write darker. I'm going to draw some waves for the water. I drew some waves for the water. And now I'm going to draw the apple floating in the water. And you can write the word float. It has F-L-O-A-T. Can you write down? Now you write it down. Draw some water and draw the apple that's floating. We want to record what happened. Let's see if I can write this darker with my... Let's see if I can find a different crayon. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use a crayon just so that you can see my letters. And if you would like to color it, you can get out some blue and add blue to the water. And then you can pick which color apple you want to do. Green, yellow, or red. I think I'm going to do, ouch, the yellow apple. I'm going to color it yellow. Let's see, do I have a stem? My apples had a stem. I'm going to make the stem. There. Did you draw the results of our experiment? The apple floating on top of the water? Good job, friends. Have your family take a picture and upload it to our Google Classroom in the weekly folder. Good job. See you soon.